If I could give one initial big tip to elders and sisters going to Japan, would be do not stress about the language in the MTC. Sometimes when you're teaching lessons in the MTC, you're like, I can't do it. Like, I can't teach, I don't know it. Or we get so stressed that, like, I'm about to go into this country and can't speak it. The gift of tongues is so real, and the language will come. But sometimes we get so stressed about it. I would definitely say, I'd put emphasis on outside of your language study, where you're explicitly supposed to study those things, study preach my gospel. Way more. If you can be a preach my gospel missionary and have that down and know the lessons and know what you're doing and know how to be a missionary, how the Lord wants you to pray, what he wants you to pray about, and what you need to do, as you have those things down, that's when the language will come. Because you know what you're trying to say, and the gift of tongues is real, and the words will be filled in your mouth, and you'll know what to say. I think especially in the field is more so when you're really going to learn those things. You're talking with Japanese people every day. You hear the real accent, how they really sound. And you have a companion who knows and can teach you every day. And you're in scenarios, you're seeing all aspects of life where you'll be able to learn it. Like at the store, okay, what do I say? What do I say when I enter and leave a member's home? What do I say before and after I eat food to be polite? And all of a sudden, all these scenarios, they go, oh, wait, what do I do here? Whereas in the MTC, you don't think of them because you don't experience a lot of those things. So I would say do not stress about it in MTC. It will come. And that knowing PMG, knowing the scriptures, knowing what you want to say in a lesson in English, in your native tongue, then that's how you'll know what you need to study for Japanese. You'll need to know, like, that will help you build up your language study. I know this is what I want to study today, because this is what I want to say. But I would say number one, beyond anything else, is I would just say be yourself. Like, speak how you would speak. That was one of the first things. So I guess in the MTC, the boss over all the teachers for Japanese sat me down and he said, Elder Aiken, if you don't learn to speak like you, then you're not going to enjoy the language or the mission. You're going to feel like a robot. You're going to feel like you're just being a missionary, kind of fake, where you just always talk about Jesus Christ. Like, learn to speak like you speak. Now, don't use slang all the time. We want to be respectful with our language, but find a respectful way to be yourself. I wanted to find a respectful way to speak like Trevor Aiken. And so I'd learn words that other elders like, what does that even mean? Like, hikikomo gomo, which means bittersweet. Like, I was like, this feels bittersweet. And they're like, what? What is that word? Even members like, how do you know that word? But I wanted to speak like myself and have some funny words to say. They think that's funny when you know these words. Like, how do you know that? And they think that's way funny. So I would definitely give advice on that as well. Learning, numbers first is really simple. Just, I guess like 1 through 20 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's actually really easy. Instead of words, like they have, I guess, like when I studied French in high school, instead of having a word for 20, it's just 210. 2 tens, I guess. So the words like that, it's actually really easy. When you get to 100, there's a word for 100 and things like that. But one thing that's nice as well is, I would say for pronunciation, Japanese is really hard. I'll just be honest. Well, not for pronunciation, but overall, it did take me a long time to learn. But just be patient with it and just do your best and just open your mouth. If you don't speak and you're too scared to try, then you won't learn it. It won't come. But as you do, then it will. But pronunciation, like vowels, are actually very generous in Japanese. For example, A's in English, we can say ah, we can say ah. We have all these different pronunciations for every single vowel, where in Japanese they're uniform. So an O is always O. An A is always ah. An U is always U. And things like that, where that's kind of helpful, where if you read it in English letters, you know how to pronounce it immediately. It's not hard. So that was a blessing for sure. But I think those are like the main tips I'd give on the language.